Earth is the third planet from the Sun, and is also the largest of the terrestrial planets in the solar system in terms of radius, mass, and density of matter. Earth, also known as the Blue Planet, is home to millions of species, including humans, and is so far the only place in the universe known to have life. The planet formed about 4.55 billion years ago, and life appeared on its surface about 1 billion years ago. Since then, the Earth's biosphere, atmosphere, and other inorganic conditions have changed significantly, creating favorable conditions for the proliferation of aerobic microorganisms as well as the formation of the ozone layer, an important protective layer that, together with the Earth's magnetic field, blocks harmful radiation and shelters life. The physical characteristics of the Earth, as well as its geological history and orbit, have allowed life to exist for some time. It is estimated that the Earth can support life for only another 1.5 billion years, before the Sun grows in size, becoming a red giant, and destroys all life. The Earth's surface is divided into tectonic plates, which move slowly across the Earth's surface over millions of years. Approximately 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by saltwater oceans. The rest is made up of continents and islands. Water is essential for life, and so far humans have not discovered its existence on the surface of any other planet. The Earth interacts with other objects in space, including the Sun and the Moon. Currently, the time it takes the Earth to orbit the Sun is 365.564 times the time it takes it to rotate on its axis. This is equal to 1 sidereal year, or 365.256 for solar days. The Earth's rotational axis is tilted at an angle of 23.44 to the perpendicular to the orbital plane, creating seasonal changes on the Earth's surface during a tropical year. The Moon, the Earth's only natural satellite and the main cause of ocean tides, began orbiting the Earth 4.53 billion years ago, maintaining the same initial rotation angle over time, but slowing down. Between 4.1 and 3.8 billion years ago, meteorite impacts throughout the period caused significant changes on the Moon's surface. Because of the special things that the Earth brings, it also gives birth to 4 seasons for their living environment. A season is a division of the year, based on the general cyclical changes in weather, ecology, and hours of daylight in a given area. On Earth, seasons are a result of the Earth's orbit around the Sun and the tilt of the Earth's axis relative to the ecliptic. In temperate and polar regions, there are generally 4 distinct seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. In some tropical and subtropical regions, there may be only 2 seasons: the wet season and the dry season, based on the amount of rainfall, which varies more significantly than the temperature. In some other parts of the tropics, there is a division into 3 seasons: hot, rainy, and cold. The ancient Egyptians also divided the year into 3 seasons: Aklit, the season of flooding, the season of plowing and sowing, and Stem, the season of harvesting crops. The main cause of the seasons is that the axis of rotation of the Earth, or planet in general, is not perpendicular tilted to the plane of its orbit around the Sun, with respect to the Earth's axis. It is currently epic, J2000 tilted at an angle of about 23.439 degrees. Therefore, at any given time of year, a portion of the planet's surface is rotated more directly towards the rays of the Sun. This rotation will change as the Earth or planet moves in its orbit around the Sun. At any given time, regardless of the season, the northern and southern hemispheres will always have opposite seasons. The seasons in the polar and temperate regions of one hemisphere are opposite to those in the other hemisphere. When summer is in the northern hemisphere, it is winter in the southern hemisphere, and vice versa. Just as when it is spring in the northern hemisphere, it is autumn in the southern hemisphere. On Earth, in addition to the high or low density of incident rays, the scattering of light in the atmosphere is greater when it is incident at a small angle. Seasonal weather variations also depend on factors such as proximity to oceans or other water-rich areas, ocean currents in these oceans, phenomena such as El Niño or ENSO, and other cyclical oceanic phenomena, as well as prevailing wind directions. In temperate and polar regions, the seasons are marked by changes in the amount of sunlight, which often produces cycles of leaf fall in plants and hibernation in animals. These effects vary with latitude and proximity to water. In the United States, the seasons are considered to begin at the astronomical equinoxes and solstices. Such seasons are sometimes called astronomical seasons. By this approximation, summer begins at the summer solstice, winter at the winter solstice, spring at the vernal equinox, and fall at the autumnal equinox. In the American customary calendar, the following dates are considered mid-season: winter February 3, spring May 5 or May 6, summer August 7, autumn November 6. In Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the seasons are generally counted as starting about 7 weeks earlier. Spring starts on Candlemas, summer on May Day, autumn on Lammas, and winter on All Hallows Day. The Irish calendar uses roughly the same approximations as above. Spring starts on 1 February Imbolc, summer starts on 1 May Beltane, autumn starts on 1 August Lugnasad, and winter starts on 1 November. In Russia and Denmark, in meteorology for the Northern Hemisphere, spring begins on March 1, summer begins on June 1, autumn begins on September 1, and winter begins on December 1st. In Australia, for the Southern Hemisphere, meteorological summer begins on 1 December, autumn begins on 1 March, winter begins on 1 June, and spring begins on 1 September. This definition is followed by Australia. In East Asia, the Korean, Chinese, Japanese, and Vietnamese calendars are based on a lunisolar calendar, in which the vernal equinox, summer solstice, autumnal equinox, and winter solstice are considered the midpoints between seasons. This type of calendar closely follows the meteor. In spring, the days become longer and the nights become shorter. The temperature gradually increases, the snow and ice melt, the weather becomes warmer, and there is drizzle. The trees also sprout. Some flowers begin to bloom. Spring in Europe usually starts from March and lasts until around May. Spring here has extremely cool temperatures, ranging from 6–20 degrees Celsius. The weather is very dry and pleasant. Spring in Korea starts from March and lasts until the end of May. The temperature during this period will fluctuate between 5.2 and 17 degrees Celsius. Spring in Vietnam usually starts from around February, April, and is the time when most festivals take place. The weather often has drizzle, light rain for many days. The humidity in the air increases, causing humid weather. This is the warmest time of the year, with very long daylight hours. Summer usually lasts from about June to August in the northern hemisphere above the equator, and from about December to February in the southern hemisphere below the equator. Summer in South Africa is very cool. The climate is extremely pleasant, with average temperatures ranging from 14 to 23 degrees Celsius. Summer in the US usually starts from June to September, and the weather is relatively pleasant. The average temperature is 23–28 degrees Celsius. The weather is pleasant. Summer in the US is hottest in August and September. In autumn, the days get shorter and the weather starts to cool down. It can also be humid and windy. In the early morning, some places may have frost. Autumn in Asia usually lasts from October to late November, with average temperatures ranging from 18 to 22 degrees Celsius, making it an ideal time to travel and explore. Some countries like Japan, Taiwan, and Korea have beautiful red and yellow leaves. In winter, the days are very short. The weather also turns cold. In some places, there is more rain, snow, and ice. Some animals begin to hibernate. Winter in Japan usually starts from December to March. The weather is quite dry, and the average temperature is from -6–20 degrees Celsius. The white snow covers the landscape, especially in the northernmost regions of Tohoku and Hokkaido. Winter in Canada lasts quite a long time, from around November to April. Temperatures are extremely low, always below 0 degrees Celsius, averaging around -20 degrees Celsius, especially in areas bordering the Arctic Ocean. Temperatures drop to -35 degrees Celsius.